Yeah. Yeah, baby. Mac is back. Back with another session. So, warmed up on the treadmill a bit. Today's agenda is, at the very least, some camber bar bench press. Depending on how that feels and how I'm feeling, we'll go beyond that, but at the very least, it's going to be that. I'm going to start with the Theragun. I feel quite stiff, even despite the warm-up. This is just kind of like I think there's like a blood flow stiffness, and then there's like a nervous system stiffness, if that makes sense. And I just like to work the arms a bit to get them loose. My biceps are super stiff, but main thing here obviously is the chest. So I'm going to look for spots that sort of feel tight but also responsive. So for example here, really nice spot. A lot of heat coming off. A part of that is of course the kinetic part of using a massage gun, but a lot of the time it's just the actual massage is reducing some of that heat, but also getting some blood flow into that area, also loosening up the muscle, which increases the blood flow as well. So I just look for that. Luckily I feel I seem to be pretty responsive to this outer side of the pec muscle, so I just focus on that until things feel nice and loose. There's a lot of heat building up here. Yes. Feels good. idea to open that up a bit because it does attach to the shoulder, and that can play a surprisingly big part in how your adventure feels, especially with a handlebar, as you go deeper. So if I got really high attachment points on my bicep, really close to my shoulder. So just getting a bit of looseness there makes things a bit safer, makes things a bit better. Alright, I'll try and do some of these traps here as well. Usually doesn't help me very much, but good. Put the ring over here so we don't destroy the Isildur. And good. Let's get in here. So, with that first set, I'm just getting a feel for how everything is going, what's tight, what is not. Go through the motion, get some blood flow, try and loosen up and get a read. So, basically the whole area around my trap and collarbone, especially on the left, is very tight. And also, as always, my rear delt feels agitated or inflamed. I don't know what it is, but kind of like a semi-permanent state of like mild inflammation or something akin to that. I'm just gonna grab this dumbbell, grab my head here and do a light stretch and get some of that neck tightness out. And do slight shifting motion just to get some of the different angles on my neck, because the stretch kind of goes in different places based on that. All right. Good. Noticing a couple of things. Missing my elbow sleeves. So we got those going. Also, good to get some actual weight on the bar to just make the stretch better on the pecs. Without some resistance there, it's kind of difficult to induce that. I mean, just the passive stretching against the resistance, by far the best way to stretch for me. Just does the work for you, and it's less agitating on your nervous system if you're trying to stretch something, just kind of forcing it either by using other parts of your body to create the pressure. It's never going to be the same thing. So feels good. So I want to have a tiny peek at what we did last time. All right, so cool. So we're definitely going to push what we did last time, at least by a couple of kilos. Can do more, that would be Great. I really need to buy new trousers. These are not hanging on very well. But we'll see, we'll just go. We'll do 5 reps on each stop here and yeah, I'm still feeling very stiff. But we'll take it nice and easy. Where are my locks? One here. Yeah, of course, it's on the leg extension there. Did a quick leg extension set yesterday. I pretty much pushed it as hard as I can, but there's virtually no soreness. So, doesn't mean that was bad. But yeah, very difficult to induce that with this alone for me. You need some kind of a compound thing, so belt squat obviously would have been great if I had time for it, but I didn't, so. I want to do just a tiny bit of a semi-hanging here, just to try and loosen up some of that shoulder, some of that pec. I'm just hanging to the bar, but still I'm on my feet. This way I don't have to actually use a ton of grip to hang on, but I can still use and adjust my body to control the amount of stretch that I impose on the shoulder and the pecs. So you can sort of kind of adjust it. You can hang more and support less if you want. You can sort of go back and forth. And also, of course, you can like to rotate a bit to get different sort of angles here. Because again, the shoulder moves in different positions. Do slight breaks, let the blood flow back in. Go again. Feels a lot better already. You can sort of feel the lats stretch really nicely. The back of the shoulder blade. Good. Right. So we got one wrist wrap over here. And the other one seems to be over there. So I'm gonna wrap up already, even though this weight is not anything significant, but I do so from a more like a nervous system standpoint, because
just that bit of added support, just lightly putting these on, makes me more secure on the press, and I'm more concerned about the tightness in my chest now, so I don't want to worry about any other flimsy feelings in my wrist or anything like that. Yeah, definitely. There's some days when you just have a kind of stiffness that is really, really difficult to get past. I probably, now looking back, probably liked to, or should have started with a bit of cable pressing, just to get things going if I'm feeling very stiff. But a lot of the time it's really difficult to know that beforehand. I mean, if I really listened to my body, I probably could have told that, but I am on a bit of a schedule, so can't make it perfect always. I'm gonna make the jump a 5 kilo jump here because it's feeling so stiff. When it begins to, if you begin to feel that things get a bit hard, it's a good idea to make steps smaller once you get closer to what you would like to be your working weight, especially if you find that you didn't get enough of a warm-up in. Just going to do a bit more hanging again to loosen up some of those tissues. Yeah, my right side is extremely tight, so that's clearly from our previous posterior chain session, for sure, because I think it's when you do the RDL, your upper back still needs to keep everything in control, and that's what I'm probably feeling here right now. So, yeah, this, I really feel like it's just nervous system fatigue because the strength isn't quite there. I don't think it makes sense to try and push that today. I'm trying to think what I want to actually do here, because well, the night is still young, so I do want to go up to up to 60 at least, and then see how that feels. There's something happening with my right trap. It's sort of, I don't know what it is. Feels like it's sort of like it's being sliced every once in a while. That shouldn't be, I mean, that's not really an issue with benching per se, but it's still possible to tweak it, because when you're in that locked in position, the shoulders back and down, in that bottom position there is a bit of a squeeze on your traps, and if there's like tightness, it can slightly tweak, and I would rather not tweak my my trap right now. So I'm thinking, how do I want to do this? Because it won't necessarily happen, but there is a possibility. I think we still want to try this. Put the 60 on the bar and do that. I'm thinking if this feels too heavy, then I'll probably have to change the rep range. But I would actually have to calculate whether that makes any sense in terms of making progression here. And I'm also thinking what I could do instead if I did cut the camber bar short. I mean, I could do far lighter lighter weight, more reps, but yeah, I don't know. We'll still keep with the original plan for now and see whether we can stick to it. So last time we did our final set was 65 kilos. So I would want to go beyond that for sure. But I am feeling a bit skeptical about that, let's be honest. Let me actually grab the Theragun here, and I'll work that trap just a bit to see if I can loosen it up. I'm also going to work the other side because sometimes when you tweak something, it's due to the fact that one side is trying to balance the other one. So if there are imbalances, those can actually cause the issue. So you kind of need to look at the whole package. So I'll try and open up as much as I can around here. And jeez, yeah, that's painful. There we go. All right. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, it's kind of like, it's kind of weird because you feel strong enough to handle the weight, but the bar doesn't move fast. So that's why I know it's the nervous system being a bit like, hey, we're quite not here. But yeah, so it's really hard to generate that explosiveness. The trap, I do feel it during that, but it still doesn't feel dangerous to me. So the question now is, how do we want to sequence the jumps here? How do we want to do it? So 65 kg, and I want to do this. Is really hard to assess because, you know what, I think we're gonna do the jump to 65 straight up, and we'll know how that feels, and then I know if I have enough or 70. Or if we want to do less, or if this is it. So my trap it's really messed up. I don't know what's, it's not like an electrical kind of nerve shock that I'm getting there. It feels more like I don't know, maybe it's muscle inflammation or something like that. Really hard to tell. I've changed the head on the Theragun. This is slightly harder, so I'm hoping this digs a bit deeper. So let's try this one. Yeah, I can very clearly feel the spot. That's the issue, but hey, what's up, Unbelievable Plays? How you doing today? Unbelievable asking, what you hitting today? So we are doing this thing here. Yep, that one. So camber bar bench press. We are feeling not the best. I mean, very stiff and slow, but we're doing what we can. Yeah, I'm guessing I'm a bit fried up from all the other workouts, so my nervous system isn't quite recovered enough, because the bar is moving really slow. On the eccentric feels really good and under control, but the bar speed is pretty slow. So that's how we know it's one of those days, but we're working through it, trying to loosen up and because I have some tightness in around my neck and shoulders and all that, so trying to work around that. I'll do one last just a brief semi-hang from here. It's a lot better. I still have a ton of tightness in the lat, mainly. Also a bit on the pec as well. But I don't think that's gonna get any better today. So Unbelievable asking, brother, please tell me how to build a good shoulder dominant physique. Well, you've got to hit shoulders, obviously. So most of the shoulder dominant physique comes from the side delt, because that's in most cases what most people are gonna see when facing you. Obviously, if they go to your side, you might see a different story. But yeah, shoulder dominant physique, I would say, as long as you're doing a lot of pressing, that's going to work your shoulder overall really well. So anything, I mean, dips are great for shoulders. I would put bench pressing there as well, and also overhead pressing. If you really want to emphasize the shoulder the most, I know a lot of people say shoulder or overhead pressing, or shoulder pressing, overhead pressing isn't great for shoulder development. I fully disagree with that statement, but I think it really comes down to the individual. I respond well to overhead pressing for shoulder development. But yeah, I would personally put that first if you're just shoulder focused more than anything else. And I don't know, like dips are just really, really good as well. So maybe overall I would put dips and then overhead pressing and then benching. But if you just wanted to go ham on your shoulder physique, I would probably focus on those, and always add in as much side delt work as you can. So that would be your in most cases, like a dumbbell lateral shoulder raise. Side lateral raise. So, and if you have access to any side lateral machines at your gym, they're pretty rare, but of course those could be great. Also, upright row. Really love that movement. I think it's still underrated. I should actually do it more myself. So yeah, if you just go ham on those, it will do wonders. But I would also say like a good shoulder physique needs the rear delt as well. In most cases, it will be sufficient if you just do heavy rows, or heavy enough. But if you wanted to emphasize it specifically, do something like face pulls with really good technique, really good range of motion. That would be it. But in my discoveries have been that the side lateral raise, you really need quite a lot of volume for that to show. Obviously everybody's genetics are different, so it depends, but yeah, you can really do a lot of those before you start seeing significant gains. But the thing is, like, I've always, no matter how strategic I've tried to be about certain exercises and rep ranges, etc., I just seem to grow the best when I lift heavy. I don't mean like heavy singles necessarily, but in that ballpark range of 5 to I don't, it again depends on the exercises. With compound movements, I like to do fewer reps and more weight, and then if I'm doing some supplementary thing, I can go for more reps. But personally, I've just grown the most with big compound movements and trying to get better at those and go heavier. So I guess that's a very complicated way of answering your question, but the point is, like, there might be a training methodology that serves you the best, and I don't know what that is, so it's worthwhile knowing. But when I've tried more sort of like purely bodybuilding focused things, I just don't enjoy that a ton. Like, I feel like I need to feel like the weight I'm working with is pretty heavy, and then I like to do my volume in terms of doing multiple different things. I don't like to do a ton of volume in one exercise. I like to go heavy in that, usually that around that 5 rep range area, and then do multiple exercises. So I like to get my volume through diversity rather than a lot in one exercise. But very long-winded way of answering your question. Hopefully the first part was sort of clearer, I guess, to get to the point. Unbelievable says, true, I mostly focus on dips and overhead dumbbell press for shoulder growth. Yeah, if you do dumbbell, I actually, if I'm doing dumbbells, I prefer one hand at a time, because I feel like you get a lot, the angle that you get to work with is a lot better, and it hits the totality of your shoulder a lot better. So if you get into that slight tilted position and press from there, I find that's really the best way for me to actually feel my entire shoulder and have better range of motion. So yeah, that's actually one thing that I do love a lot. Single hand dumbbell press is a really, really good exercise for the shoulder. But yeah, that's good. Yeah, I mean, dips are so magical. It's great exercise. All right, I probably need to hype myself up for this thing. I actually forgot to track my workout, but I guess it's better late than never. Because this is probably going to be a bit difficult. So let's see. Oh, I actually now understand why this is maybe a bit harder, because my upper back is actually quite sore from the Romanian deadlifts we did, which speaks volumes about how I've been neglecting RDLs, but that must be playing a factor here, why this is feeling a bit rough. All right, do a few slaps here. Yeah, that's good. So, yeah, it's one of those weird ones where the weight itself doesn't really feel heavy, but your ability to move the weight feels heavy. That's how you know that you're still in decent shape. You're still in the shape that allows you to manage the weight, but if it feels like it's moving slow, then you know you're not quite recovered enough from a nervous system standpoint. All right, so then we need to make a difficult decision here, which is to decide whether we go for $70, and I think we will, because I don't think the like a 2 kilo jump there is really gonna do anything here, because I feel like the weight is very much under control, but it's just moving slow. So we'll do the jump. the trap is increasingly. I feel it. It's really weird because it's not like it could be a trapped nerve or something there, but I don't know. Unbelievable says, I think using that barbell helped to get an extra stretch deep down point. Yeah, absolutely. No, I love the camber bar. I don't bench press with a normal bar anymore. I just don't see the point. I mean, I would if I was like testing something like my bench max, which I'm not particularly. I wouldn't say I'm not interested in it, but it's not something I'm chasing. I definitely want to try my bench max at some point, hopefully. But yeah, hopefully would be closer to when I feel like I'm getting sort of semi-close to where I want to be overall, strength and physique wise. But we're we're not there yet. So. But it would be interesting because I've been camber bar bench pressing for such a long time now that I don't even know what the normal bar would be like. I knew a few months ago I did try the straight bar. This was actually, I don't know, several months ago. Could even be a year. Who knows? Time goes by so fast, but it felt really strange. And I'm like, is the bar even moving? Because it just like goes from here to here. And it feels strange. What's up? They are Zakir. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but maybe you can tell me. Saying keep pushing. Thank you. I will. We will keep pushing for the games. Unbelievable says, brother, you look and sound like a fucking Viking from old age. That's good. It's good to hear. There are worse things to look like. Yeah, I definitely dig the Viking aesthetic for sure. So, yeah. I do intend to trim this beard a bit, but I just struggle to find the time to do that because 2 kids and a company, so that's, yeah. It's a lot of stuff. But yeah, I do think a tiny amount of a trimmage is in order, mainly because I think some of these ends are have seen better days. Unbelievable says it's a compliment. Yeah, you know, I got that. It's yeah, definitely trying to look something like that in the ballpark of that. Oh, but thank you for the compliment. All right, are we ready for this? I don't think this is gonna get any. It's not gonna get any better, is it? So, first, let's make sure my trousers don't drop in front of the internet. There we go. All right. Yeah, but yeah, I can definitely recommend the camber bar. It's amazing. I have another camber bar, which is the depth of this groove is a lot less. It's like only, I think, 5 centimeters. And that was already a great improvement compared to the normal bar. But this is like a whole different level. This is like, I think, is it 18 centimeters? No. That's not possible, is it? Here, do we have a measuring tape here? No. Well, I mean, this is many times deeper. I think, I don't know. Anyway, it's amazing. I just don't want to do benching without it anymore. So, strongly recommend it. All right. Can I get some encouraging words? Some hype? Something to fire me up? Other than, well, I guess if you say that I look like a Viking, that's pretty much of a hype speech already. Unbelievable. Asking, where are you from, by the way? I am from Finland, and also we're in Finland right now as well. It's right there, behind that window. The wilderness. All right, so we gotta do some. Have any hype words? Let's go. That's right. Conquer that battle. Yes. We're talking. Now we're talking. Unbelievable. Okay, some face slapping. Yes. Good. Oh. Woo. Dizzy as fuck. Jeez. Good. That's great. Thank you for the hype. Unbelievable. We did it. Just gonna note down what we did here. Our great achievement. Okay, so this camber bar is 16 centimeters deep. Seems like I've measured it back in the day. So the thing is, my trap is clearly agitated. So the question is, what should I do? What can I do to wrap up this session? I definitely want to do side delts and I want to do triceps, but ideally I would love to do dips, but the thing is the trap, because that's quite involved in the bottom position. Not like actively, but it will be a part of the stabilizing thing. So I'm pretty sure I will tweak the the trap if I do that, because that has happened before. So we won't do that. We could actually we could do some single arm dumbbell pressing actually. That might work. Still trap involved, but not in the same way, not in the same position. So I was thinking overhead pressing with a multi-grip bar. You could actually try that. I think that feels that feels good. I haven't done some multi-grip overhead pressing in a while. So sorry, I had to send a message to my better half there. Unbelievable says, that was nice. Thanks, I appreciate that. Thanks to you, Unbelievable. You're my hype man. I presume you're man, male. Or if not. Unbelievable says, if you were in your 20s, what do you mean? Don't you think I'm in my 20s? And you started the gym, what back exercises would you do the most? Alright, pretty simple. You have to put pull-ups there. Pull-ups are amazing. I'm personally the biggest fan of wide grip pull-ups. And again, this could be specific to me, but that's the best bang for the buck that I've seen for my back. Nothing wrong with any other types of pull-ups. Neutral grip, like closer, or just like a less wide grip pull-up, also fine. I just found that wider grip is the hardest, and it gives me the best bang for the buck, at least for my body type and body mechanics. But pull-ups need to be there, absolutely, for sure, and never let those go. Then the question becomes, so if we're talking like full back, then it's really hard to not mention the deadlift. But if you haven't done the deadlift and you're not good with the technique, I would start with Romanian deadlifts. But that's just like, it hits your entire back, it builds mass, size, strength. It's just a really good thing to do. Obviously, deadlifts hit your glutes and your hamstrings as well, but it's just something about your body holding on and stabilizing big weight in the deadlift motion is just fantastic. So that would I would definitely put that there. It needs to be in the conversation. But also some kind of a heavier row is great. A bent over row is probably one of the best things you can do. Bent over row is great. I have a seal row bench here, which I would recommend, more specifically developing the upper back. But seal row benches are really rare. It's not necessary to build a big back. It's kind of like a preference thing, and I actually got it because I have lower back issues. So I need to find ways to not stress my lower back too much. But if you don't have that issue, then great. You can do bent over rows and strengthen your lower back in the process. I just need to do things a bit differently because mine gets really agitated really easily. But yeah, bent over rows, probably one of the best. So yeah, bent over rows and pull-ups. That's really the brunt of it. And then if you can manage it and it makes sense in your programming, deadlifts are great for your back as well. But I kind of view like deadlifts are such a high cost movement that I would personally dedicate a day for that alone. But it depends on how you program it, and also depends on the variation of the deadlift that you do. That's pretty much the core of it. I'm trying to think. You could also, you could do some kind of a landmine close grip row as well. I love that, but to be honest, it's kind of like a variety increasing type of a thing. And the bent over row really does very, very similar things. So, Unbelievable says, I can't do multiple sets of pull-ups as the most I did was 10. Okay, well that's perfectly fine. You could do what I like to do, which is do multiple exercises. You don't have to do a ton of sets on one exercise. Once you kind of feel like you can't give enough anymore in one exercise, you switch to the next one. It's a great way of working out. I'm not sure if you can do 10 pull-ups on, like, that's already great. You're in a great position. If you can do 10 pull-ups with good technique, that's really good. And again, with pull-ups, I would focus on control. Like, the point isn't just to force your chin or your chest to the bar. The point is to build muscle and build strength. So have great technique. Always, like, better technique reps are always going to be worth more than just getting more reps. With the pull-up, really important that the eccentric, when you lower yourself down, do that under control as well, and do it as slowly as you can, because it will stimulate a lot of growth. And do very strict pull-ups, and do as many of those per set as you can. Do like 3 sets of that, and then move on to the next exercise. But yeah, if you can do genuinely good 10 pull-ups, you're already in a great place. You just need to find ways to slowly add reps or add weight. And you can use a weight belt for that, or try and increase reps. But 10 pull-ups is already great for a great position to be in if you want to, increase your pull-up strength and grow some muscle. Unbelievable asking, like, what would be your top 3? Yeah, for back, it would definitely be pull-ups of any sort, but I would do wide grip, bent over row, fantastic, and then I would have to put the deadlift there as well. Yeah, the deadlift, we have a ton of variations in terms of how to do that, but as an overall back builder, it's really, really good. Those would be my general top 3 things. In terms of specifically what I do right now is I do pull-ups, wide grip, I do steel row, which is basically like you're pulling something horizontally in relation to your body. And then those are really the 2 main things, but I also do close grip landmine rowing. But these are very specific to me because I'm trying to minimize lower back fatigue. So you have to remember that as well. But yeah, most of it is seal rowing and pull-ups right now. One thing I also love, if you have access to it, this is actually maybe my favorite exercise ever, is a heavy sled rope pull. You have a sled, you have a rope, you put a crap ton of weight on that sled and you pull it, the rope. I don't know if there's any better feeling that you can get at a gym, pulling a heavy sled. Fantastic for your back, for your forearms, your biceps, everything. It just blows everything up. That's my favorite thing just in the world when it comes to the gym. So that's also great if you have access to that. But it can be hard, of course, to find a gym that has that. So, cool. Let's get this out of here. I have a very itchy nose. There we go. Itchy nose. This is my temporary barbell storage facility, which is not great, but since we are a bit pressed on space here. Fuck. There we go. Right. Let's get this positioned here. Seems pretty good. So I'll just see how this feels. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I feel really funky in that tricep. No, sorry, that trap. So we'll just go straight into the tricep side lateral medley, I guess is the term. So let's get this lowered. Unbelievable says, you explain things very well. I'm very happy to hear that. That's what I aspire to do. I am working on an actual lifting course, which is kind of tailor-made for creative people or people who come into lifting from a different angle. So I'm hoping to be able to explain these things as well as I possibly can. So I appreciate the feedback. Good. So I'll be going back and forth between the tricep stuff and the side lateral raises. Just starting nice and easy here. With the side laterals, I'm doing them so often that I really don't focus on the weight much. Obviously I do track it, but it's impossible to come back to it and increase. Jesus. Yeah, my my neck is really starting to... Oh, jeez, what the heck? It actually does change things quite a bit. So yeah, I feel like my neck is beginning to jam up. Probably due to that tricep. No, sorry. Why do I keep saying tricep? That strap. So probably if I keep doing that, it's probably gonna jam up my entire neck, which is not great. So what we're gonna do is we'll just do the triceps here, and I'm thinking whether I can hit my side delts any other way. I could try the upright row, but it is a bit risky. Just testing if I could. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be an option. So triceps it is. Fuck. Yeah, I know the fatigue is getting a bit much when my ears begin to get kind of blocked because my muscles are cramping down on the back of my head, which is not nice. But we still need to hit these triceps because otherwise I'll never get bigger triceps, will I? So which has been an issue of mine. I've always been very bicep dominant. Again, I would love to do some easy barbell tricep stuff, but it's just my left elbow doesn't allow that. We should probably do a bit of one day I could do a lot of kind of physio type work to get more mobility all the way from my shoulder, maybe even from my back, to see if it allows positions in my elbow where it doesn't begin to bother me. Because I would rather not destroy my elbow completely. I think it might be possible because sometimes I have good days with it and bad days, and I think it's due to some of the tightness, how mobile, how warmed up things are. So I think there's still a possibility I could do something like a skull crusher, but we'll have to try and see. Yeah, I'm not going to put more weight because I mean that was already difficult. What the heck was that sound? Is it the camera? No. Maybe it's someone outside. That was a really weird sound. I don't know if you heard anything. Hey, what's up? Pampers on Twitch. How you doing, Pampers? Hope you're good. Oh, thank you for the follow as well. I appreciate it. Okay, the main issue here is that I'm about to pass out. Really mainly due to the tightness in my my neck, I'm guessing. Poland. Nice. There's something magical about Poland because there's I know so many creative entrepreneurial people from Poland. They're doing amazing stuff. So I don't know what it is, but amazing stuff. Yeah, I think I need to call it here because I'm gonna have to start opening up that neck, shoulder area because my ears are beginning to close up and I'm feeling very dizzy, so not ideal, but I just have to listen to the body. And if the nervous system is beginning to just cramp up, then it is what it is. Cool. All right, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the follows. I appreciate it as always. If you want to see more of a weird man lifting in a basement in the middle of nowhere, then you know what to do. Get a clickety click that button and do that follow, right? If not, no hard feelings, buddy. I don't blame you. And I'll see you next time. Finished.